Well, hi, everybody. This is your stay at home grandma. And like I said in the description box, you are not going to believe this. Tuesday, again, was the third year anniversary of my son's death. My husband hasn't been feeling good for weeks, but he's an old soldier, okay, and you can't get him to go to the doctors unless he's got an appointment. So, hey, Tiffany, how you doing? So I finally Tuesday night, and stuff like that, we were just kind of sitting around and everything. That he was asking me how I was feeling and everything. I said, I'm fine. I mean, in spite of it, he's always going to have the 10th, and I'm always going to remember that. I mean, my father's was the 16th, and it's been 50 something years, and no, 60 something years. And I remember that. I said, but I feel better to have known them than not to have known them. Oh my God, Tiffany, really? Are you home and resting? Hey, Ola Joe. So I said to my husband, because he hasn't looked good in a couple of weeks. Okay, Ola Joe, you take care of yourself too. So thank you. Thank you. So Tuesday night, I said to him, I said, you want to go to the doctors and stuff like that? I said, because I'll have to, because I mean, I'll tell you everything that's wrong with him. He says, no, I'm okay. Goes upstairs in his room and he goes to bed. About 10:30, there's a knock on my door, on my bedroom door. He knocks, okay, when the door is closed. I open it, and he's leaning up against the dresser door that I have out in the hallway, and he says, call an ambulance. So I call an ambulance. So he's been in the hospital since Tuesday, okay? He has congestive heart failure. He's had it. It's not anything new. And my husband is tall and thin, and his ankles are swollen. They look like donuts. So that's where I'm at right now. I left him at the hospital. But the thing that bothered me, my granddaughter took me to see him because even though I can drive, I can't drive without anybody there because I have this button and all that because I pushed the button for him. My granddaughter kisses him on the forehead. She says, how are you doing, Poppy? And he says, I'm dying. I'm like, okay, really? I don't need to hear that. He's usually pretty upbeat about things, but he looks bad. So just everybody just pray for him and just, pray for him. That's all I got to say. So anyway, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Ola Joe? How's Mr. Sailor doing? Tiffany, how you doing? Oh man, I know you have the flu. Anything you need that I can wire to you or something? But by the time I get it to you, even if it's some kind of flu something or other, or herbs or something like that, if the flu will be over. Mm-mm. I've been asking for that, but nobody's listening. And today, I went to the hospital to see him, and now understand our weather here. So I know New England's really bad. It snowed. I want to say Tuesday night. So the kids didn't have any school yesterday. Okay. So it really snowed, covered with snow. Today, okay, the snow's pretty much all gone except for the piles that they dug up and things like that because it's snow. I mean, it rained. So it's cold and damp now. So I'm walking very slowly and very gingerly. My granddaughter left me in front of the hospital and she said to me, go inside and I'll be right there. Yeah, I know, I want a new body too. Go inside and I'll be right there. So I can walk to the desk and get the directions to where his room is. Two guards, come up to me and go, you need a wheelchair. I did not say a word. Usually I will fight it and keep walking. But my knees hurt so bad today. It was so damp out there that they came and lived in my knees. Okay. And I'm afraid they might not move out. So I need a new body too, Tiffany. All right. How's Michael doing, by the way? So that's where I'm at. So I don't know. So my granddaughter and I, we went out. I got her. We had some lunch after and stuff like that. So, because I didn't think I heard that, but then I asked my granddaughter when I got in the car. I said, "Did he say he's dying?" And she said, "Yes, he did." She said, "And I don't know how to take that one." I said, "Me either," because he never says anything like that. So, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether to prepare myself for it or whatever. Thank God, two of you sick, boy. That's why I went to the doctor's Tuesday, and I stopped the asked him, can we do because it's minor surgery, but can we do it later because two of us on our backs ain't gonna make it, and I want to be able to go see him and whatever. But he did not look good, so I'm just hoping that everything's all right. Again, I know we have our expiration date. I accept that. But you want to be with somebody as long as you can. You know what I mean? And you want them to live. But I also want them to live a good life. And if it's going to be, horrible and, painful and all that other kind of stuff, and he feels like he needs to move on, I have to accept that too. That's the one thing about prayer. Sometimes when people pray for things and they want it to come another way, it comes up being a whole other way. So it's actually between God and him, and that's how I see it. I'm going to, so at that note, we'll see what happens. I'm going to yes, maybe come on and cook Sunday if nothing else happens and stuff like that. Because I really had to tell you all, because that's why I'm trying to be consistent with things, but it just things seems to think. Okay, let's try this again. It seems to be that things are not consistent with me right now. So, it is what it is. And anyway, but I thought that I would just come in and tell you what's going on and everything like that. And don't worry about me at all. Okay, just pray for me, because I'm one of these people that I fight when I have to fight, and I yield when I have to yield. And I think I can't fight for anybody else but me, number one. Number two, I think that if that's how he feels, I need to yield and accept it for what it is. Okay, because again, that's his body, and I can't at all, because I wouldn't want anybody to rail for my body if I didn't want them to. And at some point in time, I'll probably feel like that. Does it hurt? Yes. But like I said, I refuse to let my personal feelings get in the way of his personal feelings, as I refuse to get into my son's personal feelings. I know how he felt. I know how my son felt, because like I said, I talked to him prior to him dying. So I'll have to deal with whatever comes. I'll tell you everything that's happening when it happens, or whatever. If it doesn't happen, if he comes home, because they wouldn't let him come home tonight. And the thing is, too, they're not letting him come home without a nurse that comes in and everything like that. So I guess they're probably going to talk to me tomorrow and tell me what he needs and everything like that. If not, when I get up in the morning, I will call the hospital and talk to one of at the nurse's station and see what he needs and what he needs and what I can do and everything like that. And even if that be the case, I'd rather have him be in his own home, and expire quietly, than with a lot of people around and all this other kind of stuff. I believe, that people need to be home when they expire into the next life. And that's just what, because my mother was that. My father died in the house. I don't know. I'll tell you about that story maybe one day. But contrary to what people believe, hospitals are not for sick people. When a person's life is ending, most of them want to be home in their own bed, and stuff like that. It's not as cool as being in the hospital to me. It's not cool at all. I think some people can't handle it. So if you can't handle it, then that's fine. All right. But sometimes you got to think of the other person that wants to be around his loved ones and his own home or her own home, and more people are, doing hospice and stuff at home. So we'll see, stronger than I look, I guess I got that from my mother because I never understood, because I was young too. I never understood why my mother did that. But as I got older, and she finally explained it to me, and I was older, I was a grown woman then. And I said, okay, I understand. So I understand. But anyway, I'll be back. And Yola Joe, I'm going to knit tonight. Okay. Knitting always makes me relax. So I will probably talk to you tomorrow and give you an update and everything on what's happening, and I'll update. If you don't hear from me for one day, then I'll try to make sure that I tell all of you, what's going on. Yeah, I'm going to knit tonight. I took the stuff out last night, but then I fell asleep. I've been watching The Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. Yes, I need them. Oh, I am. I'm a lot stronger than I look. But, once you lose somebody when you're a kid, once you lose your father or your mother or someone in your family when you're a kid, I don't want to say that I'm used to it, but that's the only word that I can understand right now. And like everybody else, I'm no different than anybody else, and everybody takes grief differently. And I grieve, I really do, but I think that after I lost my father, and the way that, and I'll tell you about that one day, and the way that he died of cancer, and the way that I found him, because I was the one that found him. I didn't even find him. I got into bed with him like I did every night, while he was dying and stuff like that. But see, nobody told me. And I think that bothered me a little bit for a little while. I would get in the bed and he would read to me and we would talk and he would ask me how school went and everything like that. And I would just fall asleep, and then my mother would pick me up and put me in the bed. But, it was a little bit different that night. And like I said, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get emotional anymore. That I love you all. Stay safe. Hold your family close. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. Amen. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. I promise. Okay. Love you all. Thank you.